Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the Polish Tier 8 Premium Heavy Tank, the 50TP Prototyp. Now this is a heavy tank that we got a while back actually in one of the season passes, and it's a tank that came out when the Polish Heavies came out a very long time ago. Well, I say a very long time ago, a couple of years ago now. And back then it was billed as like the Polish Defender because it had a 440 Alpha gun and there wasn't many tanks that, well, there isn't many tanks that have that really. So the gun was fairly similar. Now it's got .44 accuracy, which was horrible back in the day. It was just disgusting to use. But 6.0 made the gun better, generally. Made the gun a lot nicer because of the fact that vert stabs became, you know, 20% better accuracy instead of dispersion and stuff on the move. And the crew skills helped the gun so much. It just made the tank a lot nicer. Now in terms of the armour, the turret is pretty nice and it's different to what you'd think of Soviet guns, you know, or Soviet tanks in terms of the fact that, you know, Soviet tanks get no gun depression, like, whatsoever, for the most part. This tank gets like 8 degrees over the front and 10 degrees over the side, which is pretty nice, which makes it a bit weird, right? Because sometimes if you want to you just need to get that extra little bit to get a shot at someone over a ridge line. You just turn the tank sideways, you'll get it. So what do I run as a crew on this tank? Well, on this tank I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, Track Mechanic and Rapid Aim. Now I run those because the turret traverse is a little bit slow, so I help the turret traverse out. And gun perks, because like I say, the gun is pretty tragic at times. And just being able to help the gun really helps the tank. It just makes it a lot more bearable to play. The one thing is obviously it's got a long reload as well, 11.7 seconds. As again, before 6.0, that was longer than that because obviously it's 10% better with rapid reload. It was, like I said, it was just a bit of a pain, to be honest, to play. I didn't enjoy the tank all that much before it. 6.0 came along, played it a fair bit more since then. I do like the tank. Like, it's probably that way for most guns that are absolutely horrendous, really. So, this first game is on Westfield, and spoilers, the second game is also on Westfield, exactly the same spawn. It's just the way it goes when you have nice games and they seem to be both on the same map. And we have come to this position here, which, spoilers, it's going to happen exactly the same in the next game. Because this position for this tank is really nice, because it has good gun depression. And with this good gun depression, that means you can use the turret and have effectively very good armour, which is nice. So, in this position, we're just going to keep popping up, getting a shot out, pulling back. This Projecto 66 in front of us is a bit of a pain because, well, he wants to try and get a shot into us. But every time he pulls back and basically puts himself in a position where he can't shoot us, we pull forward, get a shot into someone else. We've got a shot into the T32. The Projecto 66 is moving off. We're going to see if we can get a shot into the T32, but we can't. So we get a shot into the 50TP Prototyp as he pulls back. The 66 managed to get a shot into us. Sad, but we've still got hit points, so it's fine. We're up to 2.5k damage with a load of assist as well. Well, a bit of assist, 246. Just from spotting them out, tracking people. And there's a T30 now looking at us. Well, he's on the ridge line. He's now not. He's just shot someone else. We want to get rid of that guy. So we got a nice shot into the side of his turret. And thankfully, artillery got rid of that guy completely. It's what we needed to happen because, well, it's T30. T30's hurt a hell of a lot. We get a nice shot into the 50TP Prototyp to shut him down. They're kind of overloading on the left, attacking my heavy tanks, so I kind of need to push the tempo a little bit and getting the damage out and the hurt. So I'm seeing if I can get a shot at those guys on the left because we were getting little outlines. Can't quite do it. And I pull forward and get a shot into the side of the turret of the 66. But unfortunately we bounce, which is kind of sad. I didn't expect to bounce that. Just being careful of the mutant over there, trying to get a shot into us, but he's not looking at us. We pull over, get a nice shot into the side of the 66 turret. Don't bounce that time, which is great. And this guy's now just getting wrecked from everybody. He's running after our friends. He's not really looking at us, which is great. We get a shot into the back of him and shut him down. The mutant gets shut down in the distance, which is great. Now we're going in on the 705. I was worried about not penning the 705 with standard rounds because we don't have the best pen in the universe. But fortunately enough, he turns his side to us. We get a shot into his side, and I just ignore him now because I expect him to blow up before I get to reload, which he does. And we're just going to go over on this T-34-3 Black. We shut down the T-34-3 Black and shut down the victory in this first game on Westfield. And we finished the game with 4.5k damage nearly, 461 assisted, the ace tanker, the high caliber, 1754 base XP. A nice game for the tank when it was mid-tier really, because there was a couple of tier 7s, a couple of tier 9s. Not the worst matchmaking in the universe, pretty nice for it. And obviously, with the 50TP Prototyp, it can struggle when you're in a bottom tier matchup, like we are right now, because the penetration does, like, it kind of just hurts a little bit with it. And that's purely because you only have, like, 218 penetration. 218 on the standard, and it's about 245 on the Prem. Now, 245 on the premium rounds is going to be enough to deal with a lot of tier 10s. You're going to struggle a little bit when you come against stuff like IS-7s, but they're super heavy tanks, and realistically, you shouldn't be the one that's being relied on to fight those tanks. But the thing is, that's all well and good saying, oh, you shouldn't be the one that's relied on to fight the E100s, Mousers, IS-7s. There's going to be a lot of times where it's not about, you're not to be relied on fighting them, right? You're just going to be put in that situation where you can't avoid it and you have to fight them. So 214 pen, enough for the sides definitely, and some of the weak spots, but it can let you down. And 218 pen is a little bit of a struggle on this tank, and that's where it was a bit of a pain in the past, because you had 218 pen, you had like a 3-second aim time, which meant you aimed in for a long time, you had to wait for it to get zoned in, and then you had 0.44 accuracy and you missed anyway. Or you had the perfect shot on a lower plate and the shell just went high and hit the upper plate. And because you've got 218 pen, you have to hit that small weak spot. And it's just a pain to play. It really, really was. I say it's a lot nicer these days. So, we're on Westfield again. And we have come to the exact same spot, because the exact same spot on Westfield is the best place for this tank, because this ridge line is great for it. So it's pretty much of the same really. We pop up on the ridge line, get another shot into the turtle there. We're up to 1200 damage already, which is decent, especially in a tier 10 game. And we want to make this even better, so we're going to try and get rid of this annoying T100 LT, because it's just frustrating to play against light tanks that are constantly running the ridge. If we get rid of the light tanks, it's going to be a lot better for us. This turtle's pulling along. It's like, I can't quite get the shot in. The T100 is going to give us a shot, though. We get a nice shot into the back of him, damage his engine, put him on a one-shot, which is great. They're pushing quite aggressively at B1, B2, so we just got to be careful of that. The IS-7, speak of a devil, is coming over. We have the APCR in. We get a shot into his drive wheel and track him in place. Someone shoots him, which is nice. It's exactly what we wanted. We have the APCR in, like I say, because, well, we're not going to do much in this situation without the APCR, because even shooting the side of an E100's turret, if it's slightly angled, we could probably bounce, to be honest. And shooting the side of an IS-7 as well, you can also just do track damage only and stuff like that. It's situations like these and facing tanks like this that is where you will need the premium rounds a hell of a lot, because otherwise you just won't get anything done. You'll just be pointlessly bouncing. So we're looking for a shot into the back of the IS-7, and we do track damage only with the APCR. I'm saying you're probably going to pen. Nope, we'll just track damage only. The T-54E2 comes in, tries to get some shots into penners, bounces his whole clip. We unfortunately ricochet off his turret because, well, he's got good turret angles. This E100's coming in. It's like, well, I'm just going to hug this dead tank with him. He fires at someone else. We get a nice shot into his tracks. Get the pen in, which is good. He's not quite focusing on us, but he is also getting farmed up by a team, which is fantastic for us because that means we're not going to take a big smack from him. We'll come over, finish off the T-54E2. Now there's just the E100 left in front of us. And we're just going to wait for the reload to come in before we go over and get a shot into this guy. We're just going to be a bit careful when we're coming over on him, though, because he does have a big, big cannon, and that would make it so that, well, we don't have much health left. Especially when there's still, you know, 5 TDs and 2 light tanks. And the 5 TDs all hit hard, so if we were to lose all that hit points to that E100, we possibly couldn't take the hit from the TDs. So now we're moving in. They're all on the 0 line, and we're just moving in to see if we can get into a position to get some shots on these TDs as they get lit up. Now, I didn't take the shot at the Badger because it was questionable. The shot we had on his... Yeah, you know, the shot we had on him in the angle he was at probably was never going to go in, so it wasn't worth the risk. And we're just going to move up and keep ourselves hidden with the buildings and get ourselves into position to get a shot at these guys. We'll try and pop a shot at the E4 blind as he gets unspotted, but unfortunately it doesn't pen. And like I said, we've just got to be careful because there is a lot of high power TDs on the other flank, and if we get spotted and we get shot at, it's not going to end. Well, it's just not going to be pretty. The E4 gets spotted and we get a nice shot into his side. We're just waiting for the reload to go in. Again, we're just being careful, hugging the building. The E4 is in one, I think, that can get a shot at me. We've got the light tanks on our right hand side, which will be a bit of a pain. I know there was, I think it was a Death Star over there, so we're just going to hide behind the building. The light tanks slap us up as they're YOLOing around. We try and get a free aim shot into the turtle. Unfortunately, miss him. The T100 LT hits us again on the move and pens us because it's a T100 LT. They never miss on the move. And we just want to get rid of this turtle. So I'm just waiting for it. Shell goes in. We shut down the turtle. That's one pest gone. There's still the T100 LT. He's coming in. He hits us, but he bounces. We do have the T95, if you're watching on the map, coming in behind us. And it's like, oh, there's a T95. Oh. He hits the building, thankfully. The T100's still YOLOing around in front of us. I want to get rid of him. Unfortunately, we miss. But now we've just got to take the risk that other TD could get a shot at us, because we've got to get away from the T95. And I think, you know what? Let's YOLO down into the dip. The Death Star might be in a position where he can't shoot us if we get into the dip. And we'll be safe from him and we can get away from the T95. But fortunately enough for us, the Death Star wasn't looking and he was in a different position. We get unspotted. We get a nice shot into his side. But unfortunately he gets unspotted. So it's like, oh, well, he could still shut us down, which would be very unhelpful. But he is a one-shot, which is nice. The M48 120mm gets a shot in to shut down the Death Star. So it's just the T95. And while it's the T95 that's got no turret and a tank with a turret, I was hoping that I could probably get around the building and get a shot into him easily to shut him down. But fortunately enough, one of our other tanks does shut him down. We finished with 3 kills, 4.2k damage, 637 assisted, the ace tanker, and 2.1k base, because we did a lot of damage and we were fighting a lot of tier 10 tanks in this game, in this tank. 50TP Prototyp, it's a pretty decent tank. It used to be a letdown, but gun handling being better is a lot nicer to play. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!